I've been a planner in New Hampshire since the mid-90s and was a planner in other jurisdictions. So prior to that, New York, Maine, I was a town planner in Kittery, Maine in the late 80s. And what I say is it's not my fault. But I think what we see common to zoning ordinances in particular, but also site plan regulations and subdivision regulations, town after town, state after state, they're all using the same formulas. At least those communities that adopted their regulations 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago. There's some newer things that are going on, which are great, but frontage. So the amount of street frontage that is required for each lot is an enormous cost driver. So, and it's often used to say, well, we need to get access to the lot. Well, yeah, but a fire truck isn't 200 feet wide. Fire trucks have a certain width. They have to travel on the roads too. So you don't really need 200 feet to provide adequate access to a lot. That instead is really, that sort of standard is used to preserve rural character. When that is the last thing it does. It chews up the countryside and puts house after house spread 200, 300, 400 feet apart. And as a consequence, it drives up municipal costs because services have to be provided for longer distances for each individual residence. So frontage is one. Setbacks is another huge cost driver. So you focused on New London, which, by the way, is actually trying to do something about the cost of housing in their community, but they're faced with this significant problem. A significant problem they have is the standards of their zoning ordinance. So if you want to do multifamily development in New London, say you get a 3-acre lot, after you apply all the standards to that 3-acre lot, you're left with something less than a half an acre of buildable envelope because of the setbacks that are required, the buffer that is required. I don't know what is so visually offensive about a multifamily dwelling that has to be invisible from the street and from anyone except from the air. You're viewing it by drone. So those are 2 examples. There are lots of others.